Welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified Doctor of Naturopathy, Dr. Stephen Cabral, shares with you exactly how you can reverse aging, take back your health, and live a life full of energy and passion, with new 20-minute episodes every single day to keep you healthy and engaged. Now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Welcome back, everybody. We are here today with our second Cabral HouseCall of the weekend. Hopefully you were able to tune in yesterday. That was episode 2808. Today will be 2809. You can read along with the community's questions at stephencabral.com/2809. For today's show, we're jumping right back in. I'm actually just opening up the document right now. I can see that yesterday we answered Desiree's question, we answered Laurie's question, Solara's question, Carol's question, and then an anonymous question. And today we're picking back up with Brittany. So if you're new to the show, every single weekend we answer 10 to 12 questions, just depending on the length of my answer. That's basically it. And I always like to be respectful of your time. I try to record about a 15-minute podcast every single day on a new health topic. The weekends we're answering, of course, our community's questions, because that's a service that I feel that, I should provide, I need to provide. We can't reach everybody in private practice. So, how can we help more people? And the big thing is this, though. It's not about trying to learn everything in one day. It's about learning, implementing, tweaking the plan, learning some more. And that is truly how we reach the highest levels of health, of wellness, of longevity, of enjoyment in life. So no matter what it is that your goal may be, it's always about learning, implementing, learning more, implementing more, and adjusting along the way. So nobody ever arrives. I'm not going to arrive ever at the point where I can say, oh, I've learned it all in terms of this amazing health-based field. That's not it. So that's why we try to do one show a day, so you're continuing to up-level your integrative health-based knowledge. All right. So with that said, let's dive into the first question from Brittany. And it does say that Brittany's asking, hi, Dr. Cabral. I was curious to get your thoughts on resonant frequency therapy and its effectiveness or lack thereof on treating physical ailments, depression, and more specifically, cancer. I believe this is the same technology as a Rife Machine, so that would be the basis of my question regarding cancer. Also, is the technology behind binaural beats similar, or is that unrelated? Thank you so much. All right, great question. This is a field that I've definitely looked into. I think it's very interesting. I do believe the future of healing is sound, is energy, is light, but I don't think that we're there yet. That's the truth. So every cell in our body, and if you think back to TCM and Ayurvedic medicine and all that, every organ or every part of the body has its own energy, frequency, or wavelength. I think that this is becoming more well now known. We certainly know that there's a frequency to everything. We know the frequency of the earth is called the Schumann resonance, which is 7.83 hertz. We know that, so much so that NASA spent $3.5 million just on one particular project, creating a PMF mat to take to space for their astronauts so they wouldn't come back as weak and as sick, as they did before. So we know that this is true, but we aren't there yet. Now, the Rife Machine technology was purportedly stolen and destroyed after Dr. Rife either passed away or something happened to him. So I do believe that there was some technology or there was some knowing. I do believe that exists. I really do. But I don't know that we fully harnessed that yet. So that's the best answer I can give you. So a Rife Machine and other machines like this are meant to tune your body back to a frequency of healing. And with some of them, like I believe it's Dr. Hulda Clark's like parasite zapping one, that's more of a specific electrical frequency that might be able to kill, bugs, gut bugs, parasites, things in the body. I haven't even seen a lot of good research on that. So, I want to believe, but I will never share those and use them as part of my practice until we're able to do that in a replicable manner. But that doesn't mean that I don't believe that there is truth behind that, all right? So that's the best answer I can give you there. Now, binaural beats, we know that those work. I've been using those now for about 15 years. I love them. I really do. So there's the gamma, beta, alpha, theta, and delta waves. And in sleep, we're in delta. As we're drifting off to sleep, we're in theta. When we're calm and relaxed, we're in alpha. We start to do work, we're in beta. And when we're stressed, we're in gamma, essentially. And I mean, that's very simplified. But what binaural beats do, depending on the frequency, is they entrain your brain waves. So you get a frequency here and a frequency through the left ear and then a frequency through the right ear if you're not watching this on video. And they entrain the brain waves and they bring you to a much more calm state. So I teach this inside of High Performance Health. And I teach people to use binaural beats when they're doing their meditation, their sauna, their walk, their HRV training, anything when you want to calm the sympathetic nervous system, which is fight or flight, and induce a parasympathetic, which is rest and relax and repair response. So I'm a big advocate of binaural beats, and they're inside of the iBone app actually for free as well. Good question. All right, Nicolas is up next. Hi, Dr. Cabral. Nicolas from France. Or should I say France? I have been an avid listener of your podcast for 3 years. Almost listened to all 2,500 podcasts, and it transformed my life. My wife and I will become parents of twins in a couple of months. Congratulations, Nicolas. It's amazing. And I've been to France multiple times. I love it there. We'll be taking my daughters back there in just about a year. How would you implement your main takeaways? Morning routine, smoothie or breakfast, daily supplementation, etc. with toddlers for kids. For example, may I wake up my kids in the morning, have them brush their teeth, drink a glass of water, do some oil pulling, then some light stretching, and finally start up the day with one of your smoothie recipes. Thank you so much for helping the world with your advice and products. I wish you the very best to you and your family. I wish the best to you as well. So amazing that you're writing in. We have people, listeners, we've got IHPs, people all over the world, and I love to hear that because this is a message that should resonate for all humans, right? Like no matter where you are. And the thing is, I always tell people too, yes, my company is Equal Life, and that's how we get people at home lab testing. That's how we get people our protocols. And yes, we do ship to France. But even if you're in one of the countries, because we only ship to 27 countries, we try to ship to more, but that's our best we can do right now because of legalities and all sorts of imports and all that. But it's the information that matters. Because if you know the information, that's why I teach the IHPs too, then you know what to look for. Like you can find that in your area. So here's the thing. The morning routine you just talked about is amazing. So that's the thing. An adult morning routine also works for a child. And if you want them to be healthy adults, you want that to start as a child. So my kids wake up very similar to yours. And we wake up, actually, my wife has been doing this to music or something fun. So they wake up, and they kids are a little bit more groggy in the morning when they wake up, especially if you're waking them up for school. You let them wake up naturally if they're toddlers, but when it's school time, you wake them up and you get them get their minds in the right spot. Then immediately, brush the teeth. You can do the oil pulling. Let's see what else. And then, you start your morning routine exactly with what you want. My girls have breakfast. They have their smoothie at breakfast. They have some solid food as well they're having with that. And we are talking with them in the car. Like we're telling them all great motivational based things. Like that's basically it. Then when the day's over, I'm trying to do the same thing at dinner. Like, how was your day? I'm actively listening to them. What challenges you're going through. What do you think that, instead of telling them what to do, what do you think the best answer is to that? How do you think that you can solve that? Then we're getting together as a family. We're trying to play games and different things like that, or help them with their homework. And then for bed, they have little meditation audio players that they can play and they can listen to that. So, it's not all regimented. They have fun. They do their thing. They play outside. They play with each other. It's great. But the same things that you're thinking about for an adult that you wish you did and you learned, you want to institute those as early as possible. That's really what you want to do. All right. And your kid's going to watch you. Honestly, Nicolas, no matter what you say, they're going to see what you do. So if you practice it, they'll be much more likely, both you and your wife. All right. Melissa's up next. Hello, Dr. Cabral. My daughter is a recent graduate of yours, obviously a true believer. I'm writing to ask questions before ordering tests as I was diagnosed with SIBO in 11 of 22. I did an antibiotic twice, November and then March. BF that had issues, weight gain, bloating, was told it was menopause. When asked, can I have vitamins and minerals as well as hormone levels, was told by my doctor they didn't do that. Let me be honest, I am a smoker. So before I order any testing, I felt you should be aware. Your response would be greatly appreciated. So I have a better idea of where to begin. Thank you. Okay. Yeah. And this is something that we've helped 100,000 plus people with, which is digestive issues related to bacterial overgrowth, candida overgrowth, parasites, H. pylori, et cetera. The problem is when you take an antibiotic for SIBO, it almost always comes back. Like it's just not a good thing, right? Because what happens is the antibiotic kills the bacteria. Great. But then your doctor didn't give you anything to repopulate in the proper way. And they didn't give you Saccharomyces boulardii or anything else in order not to let the yeast overgrow, right? So then the bloating comes back. And then doctors, just blame it on menopause or whatever else it might be. It's not good. Like it's not caring. It's not healthcare. It's really not. It's just sick care. It's reactive medicine. It's not ideal. So here's what we can do. If this is what I would do in an ideal world, and I'll let you decide, Melissa. I would run the Big 5 plus the bacteria and parasite stool test. I would then allow a practitioner to have all the information they need on your hormones, your omega-6s and omega-3s, your food sensitivities, your yeast levels, your vitamin levels, your mineral levels, your bacterial overgrowth, if you have parasites or H. pylori. Let them look at everything. And if they have everything, they can give you a completely personalized and customized plan. That's what I'd recommend. I mean, that's the truth. I'm assuming you're somewhere around 40, 45, 50 years old, somewhere within the 40 to 50-year-old range. So my recommendation is that figure it out now. You've got another double your life to live, right? And so that's what I would do. That's how I would figure it out. And you will. You'll see everything. But yeah, conventional medicine does not do this. They do not look for an underlying root cause. It's palliative and it's reactive. If you want to be not just proactive, but if you want to get to the root cause and just stop, and I'm not saying this is you, Melissa, but for practitioners, if you want to stop palliating just the symptoms until they just come back again or they come through a different door, find the underlying root cause. Okay, let's go to one more question. This one says, hello, I recently adopted a dog. I love her, but she makes me itchy and I get little bumps that look like bug bites. I think it's from her saliva. Are there any natural remedies for this allergy? Is there anything wrong with taking Claritin? So I'm not a fan of taking allergy medication. I took it from literally 6 or 7 years old to about 26 years old, 25, 26 years old, maybe even 27, 28 years old, debilitating allergies. So I get it and I understand why people take it, but it really wreaks havoc on your adrenals and the sympathetic nervous system and the HPA axis. It messes with your immune system, it messes with your gut, all sorts of things. So there is a natural thing that you can do. We use vitamin C taken throughout the day. We use HistPro taken throughout the day. People typically take 2 to 3 capsules of HistPro 3 times a day at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And they'll take vitamin C essentially upon waking, and they'll take it before bed. And that works as a really nice natural antihistamine. However, we also then want to look at what's going on with the potential allergies. Now, some people can be sensitive to dogs. My wife was sensitive to dogs, and especially our first dog. But then she became desensitized. This is way back in the day. So let's go back like 20 years ago. She did allergy-based shots when we first got our dog. We were in our early 20s. Not the same knowledge that I have now, although I'm not against that. I just don't like the additives that they add to allergy shots. What I prefer instead now is the sublingual drops that you can actually get from an allergist that don't have all the nasty additives. Now, having said all that, how I eventually fixed my allergies was actually by healing my gut and calming overall inflammation and balancing my omega-6s to my omega-3s. I know that's a lot, but that's what did it. So I ran something like the Big 5. It was almost exactly the Big 5 back in the day. They just didn't call it that. I eliminated my food sensitivities, right? I started doing detoxes. I got rid of my yeast and bacterial overgrowth, as well as my H. pylori. I calmed my overall stress levels. I started taking omega-3s, as well as my B vitamins and magnesium. And those things started to empty my rain barrel. And when your rain barrel is lower, you can even still be sensitive to dogs, but you don't have the same reaction because you're now not reacting to grass, mold, and pollen like I was. You're not reacting to all the other things in your environment. So again, these are the underlying root causes that people are not told by their allergist or their conventional medicine doctor. And that's why we do this show. That's why we do this podcast. And please, share this information with others. So that's exactly what we do. You can find all these labs at stephencabral.com/shop. Just look for the Big 5. If you don't want to run the Big 5, it's no problem at all. Choose the ones that you want to, or start with a 21-day detox. Start using the vitamin C and the HistPro. These are all great things to begin with. Use sublingual allergy drops if you decide to go to an allergist. So whatever works for you. My job is never necessarily to say, don't use conventional medicine or don't do this, don't do that. It's to support you in any way that I can. That's my goal. I don't say what's right. I don't say what's wrong. My goal is to simply say, based on all of the clinical evidence, based on what they've been saying now for 5,000, 6,000 years in Ayurvedic medicine, and based on well over 250,000 client appointments, one-on-one appointments in my practice, here's what we know to work. Now, you can do other things, but this is what we know to work. So that's how I try to help. Hopefully that was helpful, Lindsay. I love dogs. I would never, I'm almost could never see myself, without a dog. And I wanted to just, share that with you. I love being able to help people, especially when it's family related. We had Nicolas with his, twins being born in a couple months. Congratulations to him. And, people obviously with their dogs, how much they love them as well. So hopefully this was helpful today. I'll be back tomorrow with a brand new Mindset and Motivation Monday. You won't want to miss it. Best way to start the week. Take care, everybody. Before you go, I wanted to ask you this question. What if I could teach you in just a couple of hours how to transform your thyroid, hormones, adrenal, cholesterol, blood pressure, blood sugar, weight loss, energy, mood, brain, pregnancy, anti-aging, or many other health-related issues? After 20 years in private practice, after seeing and overseeing 250,000 client appointments, I sincerely feel I have the real-world data and have found the answer you've been searching for. So what I've done is spent hundreds of hours of my own time refining what you need to know in order to uncover your underlying root cause health issues and then begin to rebalance the body and bring it back to a state of robust health and wellness. I'm going to teach you exactly what I do in my private practice so you can understand how you got here and now what you need to do in order to heal. You'll receive all of the important success checklists, protocols, and even ways to customize it to make the program fit your busy life. And you'll get all of this at a fraction of the price. Let me save you the time, money, energy, stress, and frustration of not knowing what to do next. Instead of reading dozens of books on the topic and seeing multiple practitioners, I will condense everything that you need to know in just a few hours of video tutorials that you can watch and listen to anywhere. Together, we will make this healing process an enjoyable one that you can take with you for the rest of your life. I wish you all of the best of health and happiness, and I hope to be able to guide you on your healing journey through my Health Results Accelerators. Simply choose the health imbalance you're currently suffering from, and by the end of today, you'll know what went wrong and how to get well again. I guarantee it. For details, head over now to stephencabral.com/courses.